Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chad and this is Tabula Rasa Farm. Spring 2023 is here. We've done a lot of things here around the farm to do improvements for the season, and today's video is kind of our jump off of our 2023 season. We're gonna get into some of the changes and things that we've done here and just kind of explain where we've been this entire time. I have decided to use my post 9/11 GI Bill benefits from the military, and I'm going back to school to get a degree in art. My main field of study is going to be photography and videography. I'm also going to mess around with some 3D art, I think. So that's where I've been. I started classes back in January, and we're almost done with this semester right now. A few big things that have happened also. I submitted a few photos to the spring student art show at the college. Right, I go to AB Tech. It's down in Asheville. It's a AB Technical Community College, and I'm eventually going to transfer to UNC Asheville. But I submitted. They had the spring student art show last night, and I had submitted a couple of pictures. We print them out, put them in frames, and they hang up on the wall for an art exhibition. And the school actually had bought one of my prints to display inside the culinary facility. So anybody that goes into AB Tech and eats a dinner or a lunch that's put on by the culinary students, I guess there's a lot of art on the wall in there. I didn't even know that until last night. There's a lot of art that they buy from these art shows, and that's where they display it in they got a little gallery there. So I thought that was pretty cool though for my first time submitting photos. And it's funny because the two photos that I'd submitted, when I printed them, the one that they actually purchased to display was the one I was the least happy with. You never know what other people like and don't like. But yeah, so today's April 15th, 2023. The art show goes until May 14th, I believe, down at AB Tech. It's down near Mission Hospital in Asheville. If you happen to be in the area and just want something to do, just go down there and check it out. There's some great artists at the school. But anyway, we're back on the farm. I'm still going to school. I do most of my schooling online. I only go to class one day a week for my photography class for the lab time, where we whatever assignments we had for the week, my instructor puts them up on the projection screen, and we sit there and critique each other's photos and talk about what we like and didn't like about them. But anyway, enough about that. But that's where we've been. That's where I've been. And now I'm just going to walk around and kind of show you what we've been doing here. We've taken down a few trees. We're building new garden plots. We've planted stuff. We got things going on here. I just haven't had time to film anything. I've just been really busy trying to get things done. So we're going to do a quick walk around. This shouldn't be a long video, but we're going to do a quick walk around. I'm going to kind of show you just some of the things that we've been doing. So we got our spring plant starts, all of our warm weather crops here in these trays. This is all of our nightshades. There's tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers. There's some squashes down here. There's a whole tray of marigolds and things like that we're going to put in our big garden plot that we put in this year too, that I'm take you over and show you. But this is what we got going on. It's going to be interesting too, because this seed starting mix, the stuff that's over here that's the lighter brown, is the Burpees organic seed starting mix. It's mostly cocoa coir and some other organic material fillers for seed starting. And I got one down here that is much darker, and this is from a local company here in the Marshall area. They're called Dirtcraft Organics. We go to the Farm Connection store down here, down 213 from us, and they sell Dirtcraft Organics soils down there. They're a living soil that they mix up and they sell it in large bulk. They sell it in smaller bags. We just bought it from the store down there. So it's going to be interesting to see the difference in germination, because that Dirtcraft Organics, it looks a lot better than that Burpee stuff. So I'm going to probably buy that next year and start using that. start using that full time when we start our seeds. So we're down here. The beast is still here. Hopefully we get it gone this year. We just got so much other things that have been happening that it's just been crazy. So here's the garage. It's a bit of a mess, but over in that dog crate over there, that's Raja, one of our Australorps. She's been sick. Not exactly certain what she has, but she seems to be feeling a lot better. And periodically, if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see her in the yard every once in a while. I just take her out, and she's a little slow, a little lethargic. She doesn't run around a whole bunch, but she does walk around and scratch and eat bugs and stuff. So I think she's starting to feel better. So trying to keep her in here so the other girls don't beat up on her, and hopefully she's on the mend. This project right here is the start of a mobile chicken coop. It's a Justin Rhodes style chickshaw. It's the Chickshaw Mini. I've done a few modifications to it, kind of offset the wheels and things like that. I'll do a video review of that, or talk about what I did that I changed from the original design that he had done. So but yeah, the garage still looks like a garage, still the same old stuff, but this is kind of the new things that have been going on in here. And I got the mower and the wood chipper and everything all tuned up yesterday too. Changed out the spark plugs and the oil and fuel filters and all that stuff. So spring season's here. Sharpen the mower blades, sharpen the push mower blades. Just been trying to get things going. Our last frost date isn't until it's April 4th, or not April, May 4th this year. It was May 5th last year, but they pushed it forward one day for this year. So that's our last frost date. We should be getting this garden planted out pretty quickly after that. So over here on the deck are our birdhouse gourds that we grew last year. We cut some holes in them. I don't think any birds are taking residency up in them yet, but they are hanging out here, and we have vacancies here, birds. So come on and move on in. Give me some entertainment out the windows. So down here in the yard, the biggest change that's been happening down here is all these trees that we'd been cutting down. I cut down 6 large black walnut trees right here in the yard. And this is this is some of the wood remnant here. I got a huge pile in the back there. I'll show you when we walk back there. But we've taken all of these down, and we've also cleared out the creek quite a ways too. Still gets pretty gnarly looking up that way a little bit, but we've tried to clean it out a little bit, clear it up, make it a little more enjoyable to sit here and look at and listen to when the cars aren't coming down the highway. 2 big propane tanks that were on the end of the house here. The propane company came and picked them up. Had no idea that they were lease tanks. We almost went out on Craigslist and gave them away, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because they're multi-$1,000 tanks, and we would have been liable to pay for that. So something that the previous owners of the house were supposed to tell us when we bought it, and they didn't. So pretty typical. But we're gonna walk over here and show you something else. So right here is our new garden plot that we put in this year. It is 30 foot by 45 foot. And then there's also a border edge around the outside that we plant things in there that the animals don't get into much. Like right now we've got some green onions growing here. And the way we do the green onions is we just buy organic green onions from the store, and then we cut the tops off and use the tops, take the bottoms and replant them, and they start growing on their own, and they'll grow all year long. They didn't even get killed from the frost last year in the winter time. But so we got tarps laid down on quite a large area here on the garden. So I got to explain what happened here. This looked like this about a month ago. And we bought a rototiller this year. I know the no-till people are, oh, don't do that. Well, I was going to spend probably 10 times the amount on compost to haul in here to make a no-till garden rather than just buying a tiller. We're going to till it, put our own compost in, and eventually we're going to go no-till. But right now we have a heavy clay soil here and we need to use a tiller. So what we did is we went ahead and tilled. We didn't remove all the sod off of the garden plot before we tilled it, and that was our bad. We should have probably either done that or tarped it earlier to kill the grass. We just tilled over the grass. Well, as you can see in some areas here, the grass is really starting to fill back in again. So this is our attempt to stunt the grass and kill it that's in these larger spots that we've got covered with tarps all around here. And then we have some crops that we planted in here that are growing right now that are more cold season, kales and cabbages and things like that. But we have a gang of onions going here. Let me flip this camera around. So here's the onions that we planted from onion sets that we bought over here at the Farm Connection store, and we've got them going all the way down this end too. But you can see the grass is starting to fill in on them. So we're gonna come out and try and weed these, and if we can't get them weeded without hurting the onions, then we'll probably just deal with it this year, and then we'll really work on killing them back a little bit better next year. This is the first year of this garden plot, so we're still learning. So yeah, so we got this 5-foot fence here, and then down at the bottom there's about 2 feet of coated chicken wire to keep the rabbits out of the garden, and built this gate, this little arbor thing. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna walk in here and I'm just gonna show you just a few things that we got growing in here right now. All right, here's some of those cold weather starts that we got from the Farm Connection down the road. We joined, they started doing a farming CSA this last year. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. So basically how a CSA works is you get into a CSA program, and a lot of farms do it with vegetables, and you pay a large fee up front, which helps support the farmer to grow the vegetables, and then every month or week or however they set up the CSA, they give you fresh vegetables back. Ours happens to be a plant CSA, so we pick up plants once a month from the Farm Connection, and then we bring them home and plant them. So we've got spinach and lettuce growing here, some lettuce and I believe arugula, or nope, more spinach. Yeah, so lettuce and spinach here. There's lettuce and arugula over there. We planted some seeds in here that haven't come up yet, and we got a few breakfast radishes. That's what that is right there. Breakfast radishes coming up in this plot. Oh, there's a big cluster of them right here. Cool. That's exciting. And then here's some more kale and kohlrabies and chard and some other stuff growing in here. This is the first set that we went and bought, and these ones are doing really well. They're starting to get big. And then we got a couple trellises here because we've got peas that we planted. I think that's clover coming up there, but we've got peas, and then there's carrots and more chard and more carrots, kale, all kinds of stuff going up in here. And then we're also doing another experiment. We tried last year and it didn't quite work out, but we're doing it again this year. These are celery. Now what these are, this is a celery stalk that we bought at the store, kind of like the green onions, and we cut the ribs off of it and then sprouted the base of the stalk in a bowl in the house, and then came out and planted them. And last year when we did this, they started to take off and then they just rotted out and died. So hopefully we do get a little better production out of them this year. So that's the new garden plot. Pretty exciting. We've been working pretty hard on this, putting the fence up and everything, and it's kind of been taking a lot of our time right there. And that's one of those things that when we were out here working on it, it was raining, or it was just never really a good time to film anything. We're starting to get back into nicer weather. Our wet season is almost over here, so we're starting to get back into nicer weather. Here's all the chickens, still in there chickening, and see if we'll walk around over here, and I bet they'll follow us because they got their fence in their yard that goes up here on the hillside even. But yeah, so I've been going around with all these trees I've been cutting down and setting up my burn barrel. Remember, I did that experiment last year with the Epsom salt to kill a tree stump, and that's it right there. Hasn't really had time to sprout anything yet, and I don't think I probably won't burn that one off yet. Actually, I'm gonna let that experiment go just a little bit longer. We're gonna see if this year, if it sprouts up anything. This is gonna be the time for it right now, because like I have a couple of dead stumps up here on the hill that haven't quite sprouted new stuff yet, but some of the other ones back that way have. So we'll just kind of see how that one plays out. Here's the old lettuce patch. We're not going to grow anything in here this year. We may do a project on this old patch for the chickens, where we plant them some crops that they can forage on, but then we put like a hardware cloth mesh over the top of it, so they can't tear the plants all the way up. They can just nip off what's on top, and so they'll continue to grow through the season. We might play around with that this year. This spot over here was the big gnarly mess where there was blackberries coming up, black raspberries, not blackberries, coming up in there, and then there was all these cinder blocks were just piled up in there. It was a big gnarly mess. There's a tree over there that fell down over it, but got that all cleaned up. Got all the blocks stacked on a pallet. Just looks a little bit nicer, a little easier to work around. The leaf compost video that I did, remember we built this pallet bin here. Well, I lined it. We got a trampoline. We're gonna build a trellis out of a trampoline. I'm gonna do a video when we do that, but we got a trampoline frame for free from a guy down in Weaverville, but it also had the mat on it. So I put the mat around the inside of the pallet compost bin, because all the compost that was in there kept falling out through the cracks. Now it's got a liner in it that keeps everything contained. We put all the leaf compost. Some of the leaf compost I threw in the chicken run to let the chickens tear it up, and it's completely disappeared now. It's just kind of worked into looking like soil, like it's supposed to. So they've been in there doing their thing, scratching on it, pooping on it, and making some good compost. We also loaded wood chips in there for them too. Small burn pile here that I got to deal with. And then here is a lot of the wood that's left over from cutting down those black walnuts I showed you just a little bit ago. I've been using this for feeding wood in the burn barrel for burning these stumps, to try and kill these stumps. That's what I've been using this for. This pile is going to take a while to get through though. There's some rather large pieces in here that I'm gonna have to deal with. Probably gonna get a splitting maul and start splitting them up and making firewood out of them or something. But it's beautiful wood though. It's got a great little black dark heart in it. It's a really highly sought after wood. I couldn't get anybody to come get it to do anything with, so I'm gonna hang on to it and see if I can't use it for something else. But so here's the corn patch from last year. We extended it right here is where it was last year, and this is all new over here. You can tell these are what they call tiller radish, or it's also known as daikon radish. Tiller radish does exactly what you think it does. It mines down, it's got a really deep taproot, and it goes down and it'll help break up this heavy clay soil that we have here. Helps break it up, and so once this comes to maturity, or once the warm season starts and we get ready to come out and start, because we're going to put corn and stuff back in this plot again, and we got a plan for the raccoons this year. We'll talk about that later, but I'll just come in here with the lawnmower and I'll just mow this down to ground level. We'll probably end up tilling this again just to kind of fluff it up. You don't really have to, because then the big taproot on the tiller radish will decompose, and then it creates big pockets in the clay for organisms to go in there and feed on stuff, and it just kind of helps aerate and break up the clay soil. So that's what we got going on here, and it's kind of spotty. We didn't till this edge here because we have a lot of trees back here, and there's a lot of surface roots that come across here, and I'm not trying to kill these trees quite yet. Eventually we'll probably get rid of them, but yeah, that's what's been going on back here. So over my shoulder here is Maggie's art project. So this is our well cover, and it looks like a rock. If you know what this means or what this is, leave me a comment down below. I want to hear from you, and we'll talk about it. But not a whole lot of people, I think, will know what that means unless you know. So there you have it. Thanks for hanging out with me today and kind of going for a walk around and showing you everything that's been going on here. This is going to start our 2023 filming season. We got a lot of things coming up. Showed you a chicken coop I'm starting to build inside the garage there. There's a reason for that. We are picking up 8 more young pullet hens next month to start expanding our chicken operation here. And we've got a couple new breeds that we're going to get in, a couple breeds that we already have, but I think we're going to start dabbling in breeding our own and hatching our own chickens pretty soon. There's a big chicken craze going on right now with, you know, high egg prices, and everybody all of a sudden wants to be chicken parents, and I'm all for it. I think everybody should own chickens. I think if everybody owns chickens, at least a few chickens, the amount of waste that goes to the landfill would be decreased by so much. It would just be amazing. It would do amazing things for our planet. But not everybody can have chickens. A lot of people that live in apartments can't have chickens. I mean, I understand. If you are able to have chickens, I think it's something that you should maybe look into. Chickens are fun. I enjoy it. We're going to expand our chicken dynasty. And oh yeah, we've also been selling eggs. I forgot to tell you all about that. We've been especially now since the springtime has kicked off, our chickens are kicking out about 10 to 12 eggs every single day, and there's only 2 of us, and we don't eat that many eggs. I mean, we eat quite a few, but we don't eat that many. So once we have a few people that Maggie's been working with, that she'd found on Facebook or Craigslist or something. I think it was Facebook. A few people in the local area here that are kind of becoming regular customers of ours for chicken eggs that we deliver to on a weekly basis. Just gained a new customer that takes 2 dozen every single week, and then we got a few that take a couple dozen every couple weeks. So, you know, we're just kind of doing the thing. Just want to thank all you guys for all your support and continuing to watch our videos and spread them around. I know the chicken content is starting to get a lot of motion on it, and if you guys got any questions about any of this content, there's a comment section down below. You know, you can go down there and leave comments for me. I do answer the comments, try to answer the comments as much as I can. I do appreciate all you guys. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.